தமிழன் என்பது வந்து விலாசம், தகுதி அல்ல.
Start our conversation. Let me ask you all a question. Are you all here to see and hear Kamal Hassan, the actor, an artist, Kamal Hassan, the thinker and public intellectual, or Kamal Hassan, the politician? Combination of all three? Okay. So what's interesting is there would have been a time maybe a few years ago, let's say 10 years ago, if I'd asked the same question. This audience may have said, Mr. Hassan, we love you. Don't enter into this mud called politics. Right? I think you referred to it. You referred to the intelligentsia, the mocking of PLUs, people like us who would look at politics as something dirty, something not to be touched. The same audience may have told you, why do you want to get into this? So let me try and understand before anything else. Why do you want to get into this? As someone who's fiercely independent, who's often taken positions that have, been at the cost of more populist positions, you have often spoken your mind on censorship, on meat eating, on all kinds of issues, right? You have held up the power of the individual. Politics is not about the individual. Politics is a surrender of the individual mind. What makes you do it?
I don't think I'll have to surrender my individual spirit for the sake of politics, not the way I want to do it. I can still be myself and hope they accept me as I am. But they must understand that I have the good intent to do something which has not been done in my state, at least. Let me not talk for the whole world and country. I want them to understand I'm here with good intent. I think some or most do believe that. I believe it. That's the most important thing. And about not wanting to join politics, you are right. Yes, it was considered to be dirty. But it's the way you keep it that makes it dirty. And the responsibility is with you, not with the politician, as we often seem to think.
The responsibility is with the voter?
Absolutely.
With the people?
Yes. We should learn to say no.
So we get the politicians we deserve?
And that's what I think it is. Because once we take money for votes, then you can't complain when he does take money off your pockets. He's going to look you on the eye and say, oh yeah, I'm the only thief in this. Between the two of us, I'm the only thief and you're not, is what he's going to ask.
What was that precise moment when you knew that you had to cross that space from being a public figure with opinions to electoral politics? Because the two are different. You can be deeply political. I think I'm a deeply political person without being in electoral politics. You were always deeply political. When did that crossover happen for you?
It was a very, very slow, snail-paced movement. It took me 37 years.
Can you share a bit of that journey?
Yeah, because the moment I started this Narpani Yakam, as what you call social service movement, that was done about 37 years back. That itself is a political move, in the sense I wanted to do something for my people. And we were doing social service, and that I thought will change society a bit. But it was becoming more and more difficult doing even that. And so there's a time when you realize that you've spent 37 years with so many people. There are roughly about 10 lakh hardcore workers in this welfare association. That's a lot of man hours and a lot of enthusiasm, all being dampened by political apathy. So something, if you want a change, if you want a great change, it has to be done through the government. And for which all my heroes, for example, Gandhiji or Mr. Ivera Periyar, as he's called, Mr. Ivera Ramaswamy, who we call Periyar, they all did not go into electoral politics. And I thought I'll follow their footsteps because they are my heroes. But then they lived in another time.
What is it about this time that compels you to contest elections?
You live in Delhi, so you don't know. I live in Chennai. I live in Chennai.
I live in Delhi, and
you
I wish I had the courage to contest elections, but I don't.
No.
I think it takes a kind of courage to actually jump into that pond.
Yes. I wouldn't call it courage, but I think we have been pushed to such anguish and anger. Inaction would only lead to more anger. I thought it's not going to be healthy for the state or me.
What makes you think you're going to be different from everything you've seen? And what is that difference?
Well, I will not bring in the analogy of films here. I was
please
different. No. They say that I did everything slightly differently from my peers in my film business. So that's no promise that I'll be different. But I want to be different. That's the promise that I want to give you. I want to make that difference for my people. And it's possible. I'm not setting an unachievable goal. It's an achievable goal, and I'm not going to do it alone. You guys have to help. And I'm speaking now to people of Tamil Nadu, not the elite alone, all of them who think that taking 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees and voting will make this day better. It won't. Over time, you're worthy of much more money to earn and to keep for yourself. What you're selling away and giving away is not only your vote, but your capability to earn more. They don't compute it that way. Somebody has to keep reminding them that they've taken 15,000 and lost 15 lakhs maybe. For the 5 years, they could have gotten 15 lakhs.
Have you had any second thoughts in the last couple of months? And I ask this because I remember meeting you in Chennai, I think somewhere in November, December, and you had just indicated that maybe, but you hadn't completely spelled it out, electoral politics would be next. But you grabbed the headlines for all kinds of noisy reasons. You were accused of speaking of Hindu terrorism when you had actually spoken of Hindu extremism, and you said that something was lost in translation and the two things were different. But you did not actually take back that phrase of Hindu extremism. You in fact made the argument that Hindu fundamentalists are beginning to ape Islamist fundamentalists, and that went against the spirit of Hinduism. The Hindu Mahasabha threatened to shoot you.
Yeah, I'm used to being shot at, but that's with a camera.
This was not a camera.
Yeah, no, they didn't mean a camera, definitely.
A more conventional politician may have said, oh, I meant this, but I didn't mean this, and, you know, clarified it so many times that the original comment would have been lost. You just clarified that one word. You said it wasn't terrorism, it was extremism, but you stuck to your position on your concerns about Hindu extremism.
Yes, because I'm concerned about Hindus, the so-called Hindus. I think of them as Vaishnavites, Shaivites, and other religious group. The idea of Hindus as one group is very recent. It's not there from the days of Vedas, or not there about 200 years back, I guess, 300 maybe.
What concerns you? You said you're concerned about so-called Hindus. What concerns you?
No, I'm concerned about total amity of the nation, of my state. I mean, as if they didn't know all this existed 50 years back. How come in 50 years suddenly we've become so conscious of, and we take quick umbrage to any statement? What has happened? Why are we regressing to fundamentalism when we should be going ahead? And the Tamil Nadu state logo has a mosque, a temple, and a church in it. And why are we not behaving according to our logo? That's my question. And why are we allowing it to happen in Tamil Nadu of all the places? Why suddenly people who have passive and would walk to the other side of the street if they found that some kind of commotion is going on, is now happily wading into agitations and problems. And it's not for anything else but pride and ego. Yeah.
And you think that's a kind of chauvinism that concerns you?
Frightens me.
Frightens you?
Yeah, really, for my people. Personally, yes. I can keep a cold face when they say they'll shoot me. I will not urge them and say, come on, shoot me, and open my chest.
You're not going to do that Bachchan moment.
Yeah, I can't. And even with a bulletproof vest, because everyone thinks a bulletproof vest is saves you from the bullet, but it doesn't save you from the pain. Because the impact of the bullet, the velocity of the bullet will still break your rib. So I'm not ready to take that pain.
There's another big star from your state who's also indicated his interest in being in politics. It's quite an interesting moment in Tamil Nadu. You have said you and Rajnikant are good friends. You have said that when you decided, before you publicly said that you would be in politics, you actually picked up the phone and you called him. Is that correct?
No, I met him.
You met him. But when it comes to that question that everyone wants to know, can we see both of you on the same side? You're not so sure, are you?
No. The reason is, we can, as friends, be on one side. I mean, that's different. But polity is different, because I'm trying to make that difference to my state. Our approach, the general intent might be the good of the people. But I believe that there is a certain way in which the good will have to come to the people. I don't like to take a detour. So it might happen. We'll wait for his manifesto to be out, and mine will be out soon.
21st.
So if it gels, then in polity, for the sake of the nation and the betterment of the people, a good alliance, if it's not full of lies and
cosmetic
deceit,
arrangements,
deceit and tacit under the table nods, that is no good for the people. So if that is not there and we are able to see eye to eye on a point, maybe. But I don't think so, because the very fact that he, in his first announcement, made some statements which gave him a hue. I'm not still I hope it's not saffron.
You hope his hue is not saffron.
The hue is not saffron.
I think that's the answer. I mean, I don't think there's any ambiguity, right? Basically, you're saying you think he leans right and you lean left.
No, you don't have to lean on any side. I like equipoise. That's why my site is called Mayam. It's in the
let me use different words. I remember you once told me that you self-describe yourself as a rationalist. That you're a rationalist, you tend to question a lot of inherited wisdom, and you don't believe in a certain kind of ritualism, especially when it maybe comes to religion. So culture is different, religion is different. And you see Mr. Rajnikant as probably being not quite your school of thought on religion?
Absolutely not. On?
Religion and on his views?
Religion,
yes, on religion?
Yeah, definitely not. We are poles apart that way.
And would that come in the way of a political agreement?
Absolutely, I think so. Unless he has another take on how he wants to take it to the people.
So I'm hearing you say an alliance with Rajnikant is unlikely.
Yeah, I can. These are the conditions.
As of now, you don't see it happening?
I don't see it. If this is the route he is going to take, and if the hue that is going to acquire is going to be saffron, then I can't see a clear understanding, unless there's some other explanation that he gives that convinces my rational mind.
What is your hue? Have you set out to be a solitary player? Is there in the rainbow of political colors a color you like?
No, I'm deep inside. This is the color, and that optically speaking reflect all colors. So that's what it is. So I'd like to be as versatile but united into one ethos, one thing. When I say Dravidian, people sigh and say, "Oh, here goes another politician who's going to harp that ektar, that one string that keeps on going, Dravidian." But mine is a multi-stringed instrument.
What does being Dravidian mean to you?
It's pan-national. That's what I'm saying. Dravidian is, anthropologically speaking, everyone thinks it rests between two political parties in Tamil Nadu. I don't think so. It's all of South and some of India also.
Some of North India.
And most of India. So it is a pan-national feeling. You call it by other names.
What is that feeling?
It's anthropological. You look at the face. You and I are Dravidians.
As a political identity, what does it mean?
Yeah, it could mean that you and I are the same. Itself is a political slogan.
So let me break it down. Mr. Rajnikant's hue seems saffron. Your hue is black, which brings together all colors for you in a united space. You did, before you announced your interest in politics, meet with other politicians that raised a lot of interest. Arvind Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee. It raised speculation that perhaps you could join hands with some other political parties. As you embark on this journey, it's still very new for you, do you see yourself as a small player taking baby steps but walking alone? Or do you see yourself holding someone's hand, some other political party's hand, as you begin this journey?
Right now, the terra firma that I've chosen is firmly my state. I know it.
And in your state, could you hold someone else's hand?
If necessary. I hope I don't stumble. In that case, I might have to hold hands. So I don't think I will have to hold hands. If that is the case, I wouldn't have started a party. I would have joined the party.
Well said.
So the reason that I have started a new political party itself shows that I intend to walk it with the people, not with any politician as such.
Was it the rationalist in you that made you take perhaps a unusually clear-headed position on eating beef? You said you're vegetarian, but you spoke in favor of choice.
No, I'm not vegetarian. Let me clarify.
Well, now. That's what you told me. Now, yes.
Now, no. Afternoon I had some fish.
Now, if you're cheating, I can't keep track of that.
No, I've been. People told me that it's great to be a vegetarian, and I asked them why. They said that how can you take life to improve yours? But who said vegetation doesn't have life? They have life. I'm equally guilty of being a vegetarian.
But I remember what you said.
What I'm saying is, these are things that you don't insist upon. Next, I will say, don't wear this color when I'm coming to the interview. It's intrusion of my choices. I think my life became wonderful because of all the choices that's available to me. I have even said in a meeting to my people, welfare association meetings, thousands were there. I said, look, I don't take beef now because of medical advice. And I've mentally decided, I think in a fair ethical decision, is not to eat an animal which is bigger than me. It's fair. I mean, fair game, as they call it. So that's all. That's amount of restrictions that I put on my eating habits. But what I said in the same meeting is, don't give us a menu, give us food. Then you can probably dictate. You're not capable of feeding this country and you're telling us what to eat. That I would say to this existing government and all those governments which have failed to do that. We could easily have done that. That's what, in the speech, I've said that it could have easily been managed. I've seen a river slowly turn into a gutter in my lifetime. It's going to take another lifetime for it to run as a river again.
And it's also about choice, right? You don't tell your citizens what to eat, what to drink, who to love, who to have sex with. I mean, gay rights, for example, the fact that they're criminalized is shameful.
It is. And then you're regressing back. Marry within your community. Do not fall in love. Do not allow fall in love with so-and-so community.
What does the phrase love jihad mean to you?
Love jihad? I don't know. You're mixing.
No, it's not my phrase.
No, you're mixing two metaphors. Yeah, well, if jihad means holy war, then it doesn't fit.
Exactly.
It's a misnomer, a title. But I think that a new revolution is on the way. I don't know about jihad. Love will triumph across race.
Before I open this for questions, your journey towards becoming an actor, and now you're embarking on this journey to be a politician. What is the commonality in those journeys, and what might you see as the differences?
The only common thing, as I see, instead of being clever, let me be honest, is people. Both are done for the people. Without them, it doesn't mean anything at all. My film, it's their happiness that's translated for my understanding into an applause.
And are you going to share the name of your new political party with us here at Harvard?
No, I'll have to politely refuse because that will preempt what I'm trying to do on the 21st.
Okay, we have many more questions. I'm going to open this up. Is someone taking around the mics? The mics are where? Right here. Okay, please walk up to the standing mic and take a line, and please, this has to be a little orderly. Okay, start here. Yes, line up against the mic and wait for me to indicate that you can go ahead with your question. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Mr. Kamal, thank you so much for coming to Harvard University. I've been a great fan. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I have two questions. I think I will start with a cinematic question. We all hate snake oil salesmen, right? But these days, right, the producers and the movie makers, right, with cable TV channels 24/7, they promote movies which are really bad. You know, they promote like anything. So what happens is, the people below the income level, they go the first day, first show.
What's the question?
So they make the money.
Question. I'm only going to take questions,
so
no comments. Question.
This is right? Because, I mean, it's like a reverse Robin Hood, right? We have seen Robin Hood movies, right? But taking money from the rich people and giving to the poor. But this is like...
Okay, I don't really understand the question. So let's take that as a comment. If you want to interject briefly, we will. And let's move on this side after that. Yeah.
No. I think what you're trying to ask is it right that you promote a bad quality product as fantastic and make people throng to it? And, well, that's what you did with cigarettes. Till someone told you it's harmful, and now you're cutting down on it. Why do you want to cut down on it? There's somebody who said that if the Food Council will have to okay a new invention called alcohol, if it were to be now, they will not.
Okay, let's move on.
Promoting anything bad is bad enough.
Could we please keep this to questions and possibly within the parameters of what we've actually are talking about here this evening? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Please, go ahead.
As you told that your intention is good, so my question is that suppose there is no majority after the election, the next election when you will participate, will you join the hand with Rajnikant?
He just answered that at length.
No. So your question was different. My question after the election, when the result, I'm modifying your question. So
I'm on the pre-poll, you're on the post-poll, right?
I'm asking question because I'm not from Tamil Nadu. My girlfriend explained that Kamal Harshan and Rajnikant is like to explain the politics to me that they are like Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, and we love both. Because I'm confused. And that's why my question
Okay,
is,
okay, let him answer now, please. I'm going to try, let him answer. I have
let
to
him answer, yeah, let him answer.
and give the space to the next person. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for going ahead that far and even talking about polls. Well, if there's no majority, as you say, then it's the people's verdict. I don't have to somehow sit in a chair. I'll stand and wait again and work. And about this Lord Shiva and Vishnu thing, I think enough has been said of these two gods. Everybody knows their quality. What we need is to preserve and to make Tamil Nadu healthy. That doesn't mean I'm talking about Vishnu. This is my agenda.
Okay. Another question here on this side. Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, my question might sound similar, but it is not.
No more Rajnikant questions now.
It was great.
Last one.
It was great to know that you identify yourself as a rationalist, and the things that you shared. And you shared you would not embark on this journey alone, but you would work with people. And you talked about culture, not politics. And 5 years ago, when I did not care about the world beyond me, I heard similar thoughts from a gentleman in Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, and I started to work for them as a volunteer for a bit. And in that period, I was working with their IT team, and I discovered that outfit at that time got donations, actual money, 10 rupees, 100 rupees, from every district in India. In a country as linguistically, culturally diverse as India, they got actual financial donation from 700 plus districts. What I felt good about that was I could see, in a diverse country as ours, I could see a political force emerging of people to work together across all these divides.
Question, please.
So why not join hands with forces that are not separate from Tamil Nadu, where good work can be done under the same umbrella?
Okay.
I'm not talking about Mr. Rajnikant.
Sir, I'm
or
going
any
to have to
person.
interject. Your questions cannot
But
be that long
on
because
a
there's a
larger-
whole line
on a
of
larger
people
scale.
waiting to ask.
Okay,
Yes.
let me come to that. Yes, Mr. Kejriwal came and met me in my party office, which was then not the party office, but now has become the party office. So he met me and he was kind enough to say that we are brothers by motto. You want an alliance, you got it. You don't want it, that's still okay. But if you want any advice from our experience, it's yours to take anytime you want. That was the kind and magnanimous offer given to me by Mr. Kejriwal, and I intend to take it. And I'm not only from Mr. Kejriwal, I'm going to take it from others. But the idea of forming an alliance, it depends on what we believe in, what we want for the country. You cannot just go and shake hands just because Gandhiji has a saying, do not walk with your dirty feet across my mind. So I don't want anyone walking with their dirty feet across my mind. I'm not implying that so-and-so has got a dirty feet, but I'll have to be careful.
But can I just briefly push you on that? Because the Kejriwal example is actually a very relevant example to you, because here were people who were professional, typically outside of politics, who decided to get into electoral politics, and perhaps somewhere along that journey discovered that the system operated in a certain way. And today, if there is one criticism of Arvind Kejriwal that is made, it is that you didn't remain as different from other parties as you said you would. Somewhere that system swallows you up, it makes you like everybody else.
I've been in a similar system where they say you don't defy a system as strong as the film industry. But you can. There are people defying Hollywood. They already defied it, giving the run for its money. They made all the decisions, but it's changing now. It can be done, and I believe that it can be done.
Okay, question this side? Yes.
Yes. When Justin Trudeau appointed half his cabinet as women in 2015, the reason he gave was because it's 2015. So, sir, it's 2018 now, And can I know, would you be working towards same kind of gender equity in your party when assigning tickets or party members, or if you win, giving seats, cabinet to women, and particularly Dalit women?
Yes, for me, women are women. I don't believe in the Chaturvarna or the fifth Varna separately. They're all mine. They're all my family. So there will be women too. For you to know, there are already 2 women signed in, and I can't name them now.
Come on, name one then.
No, I can't.
You were a state governed by a woman.
Yes, yes.
You didn't, some would say governed by 2 women.
That's more like it. Now we are playing this 1 and 2 numbers quite very well.
So, I mean, there is complexity here that women in politics alone doesn't change how politics is practiced, is what I was actually driving at.
Yeah, you remember the old saying that the only man in the parliament is a woman. You remember that? They said that of Indian parliament.
And of Indira Gandhi at one time in a cabinet. But in 2018, we shouldn't be referenced against men is what I would say. Next question, that side, please. Yes.
My question is, should laws reflect the views of the majority of the people?
I didn't get it.
Should laws reflect a majoritarian sentiment? Should the law
like
of the
in
land...
Saudi Arabia, it's okay for adultery, punishment is killing a woman by stoning.
I don't know about other countries. Let's talk about ours. I like the lady, blindfolded lady with equipoise. And that's what it should be. It should be not to appease the people. There are many politicians who do that to appease people. I think law should be above all of it. And blind to bias. That's what I think it should be. That's when all will get... there's somebody who says justice for all itself is a myth and a slogan just to keep the manthan going. But I believe that the law should be above these sentiments. Otherwise, it won't make a great society.
Okay, this side.
Mr. Kamal Hassan, thanks first of all coming to Boston and Harvard. We really love to hear your thoughts here. My question is very straightforward. I'm not from Tamil Nadu, but last 50 years we have seen in Tamil Nadu all the big politicians are either coming from in the movie industry or related to that, including you, right? And there's no second leadership happening there in Tamil Nadu from long time. Do you intend to change that in your party, or you will be the same as Ms. Jayalalitha was, that there's one image party? Yeah.
One-person parties.
Then I might as well call it just Kamal Hassan and not by any party name. I don't believe in that, because look at my age that I'm now in. If I'm starting a party to last another 20 years alone, then it's not a party. It's a party that you have every Saturday. That's not what this is. This is beyond time. It must at least last 3 generations to have an effect on the populace we're trying to help, which means I won't be around to see it. So I've already thought of the second, third, and fourth leadership. Maybe not. I won't pick the person. Even that amounts to a certain amount of despotism. So yes, I'm not going to follow that example.
What do you think of dynasty in our politics? The fact that top jobs get inherited in smaller parties and larger parties.
I mean, it is breaking up of the monarchy that brought about our democracy. Why mix that back in here? I don't think that. I think that calling yourself Tamilian, as I said, calling yourself Tamilian is only the address. That's not your qualification. So that in Tamil we say that Tamilan என்பது வந்து விலாசம், தகுதி அல்ல. That qualification you must earn.
Question here? Yes.
வணக்கம் கமல் சார், நான் உங்களோட மிகப்பெரிய ஃபேன். சாரி நான் தமிழ் பேசுகிறேன் கண்டுக்காதீங்க. ஓகே, என்னோட கேள்வி என்னன்னா, my question is, what is the biggest lesson you've learned throughout your journey of life?
What is it?
Biggest lesson you've learned throughout your journey of life.
What has been your life lesson thus far? Something you learned you wouldn't do again or you would do again? Something that life taught you?
Well, I've learned one thing. It's been said, worded very well by Mr. Rajaji. Don't do anything that you're ashamed to admit in public. Do anything that you're not ashamed to do, admit in public. It's as simple. I'm trying to live up to that. It's so simple. Even murder can be justified if you're a soldier. I killed so many people for the nation. So anything that you're not able to
Say
admit,
out loud.
don't get involved in that business at all.
Is there a mistake that you've made that you would not make again? I mean, we've all made mistakes. We've all made misjudgments, wrong choices. But something that you know that you really had to go through it to learn it, and now you're saying to yourself, I won't do that again.
Yeah, I will never ever overestimate myself and think I'm a fantastic, intelligent man, bordering on genius. I'll never do that again.
You mean, is that how you saw yourself?
At 19, I thought, make way, world, there's a genius coming. And then I thought they were deaf. They were only being kind.
Okay, I'm going to take the last two questions because we've already overshot time. Yes, this side.
Hello, sir. You've been very vocal about being a rationalist and not conforming to any community or a caste, but how do you handle when things that you do or things that you say are being linked to a particular caste or a community? Even your brother Charu Hassan said in an interview that your community might be a reason that you might not be successful in politics. How do you handle comments like that?
I have 2 years. In Tamil they say, in the kadala vangi, in the kadala utru. Say, listen through this ear and let it go out through the other ear. So I dumb down myself when they say things like that, because it's waste of breath, even if it's the elder brother, to argue a point which is well argued and clearly stated and is in the minds of the people.
Okay, last question.
Vanakkam, sir. I am Rajaji's great grandson, so thank you for quoting me.
Wow, that's quite something.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So the question is, so a couple of hours back, we saw a digital governance session by somebody from Estonia. There, the government and the people are leveraging a digital ecosystem. In Tamil Nadu, the ministers are deleting their email addresses when you ask us to complain corruption charges. So it looks like a very long journey. How long would it be, and what would you need from us to speed
That's
up?
exactly why I think this podium might not give us enough time, but as I told you, www.myem.com will be the place where we can discuss, and probably I think you should all participate. I'm looking for that. Money I can raise. I'm very confident. But these ideas you raise and give it to me, and I'll be happy to take them.
So, since we're among young people, I do want to just ask you one last thing before we close. Is there a dream you had when you were the average age of this room that remains unfulfilled?
Yes, I wanted to go back to college. And I'm a high school dropout, so I always wanted to get back. But life gave me so many other opportunities that dream never happened.
And now there's no time for that, obviously. You're never too old to study.
No, yeah, I still
But
do.
life is the laboratory and the classroom.
So I always say that I'm an extramural student, picking up even garbage that is thrown out of intellectual garbage that thrown out of the universities, because that's what has been my staple diet, intellectual diet.
Well, I can say this, that whether or not you went back to college, you are one of the brightest minds I've had the pleasure of talking to, and I know that the room would support me in that. Thank you very much, Kamal Hassan, and we wish you all good luck.
Thank you.
We wish you all good luck in your journey. Let's have a big round of applause for Kamal Hassan.